Well, thank you very much, and I'm thrilled to be back in Wisconsin, where we had a very big night a few years ago. You remember that very big night? Remember that? They said Donald Trump has won the state of Wisconsin. And since then, we've produced everything we said and more and more. Before it was talk. I said, I'm going to do this. We're going to take care of your trade. What we've done with China now, on Wednesday we signed, that's tomorrow. What we've done with the USMCA. What we've done with Japan, $40 billion trade deal. And a lot of it has to do with the farmers. South Korea. Oh, you got to love Trump. You got to love Trump. And your great Green Bay Packers are playing San Francisco this weekend. Good luck. So do we have any Green Bay Packer fans here today? That's what I thought. And you have a great quarterback who's a good guy. Good guy. As we begin the year, our economy is booming, wages are rising, poverty is plummeting, crime is falling, and America is the envy of the entire world. And then our opponents say, we're not going to win. Let's impeach President Trump. Let's impeach him. Got the greatest economy in our history. Our military has been totally rebuilt. Let's impeach him. But we've created 7 million jobs since the election, including more than 1 million manufacturing and construction jobs. Nobody thought that was possible. And we will soon be replacing the NAFTA catastrophe, one of the worst trade deals in the history of the world, frankly, with the incredible USMCA, Canada, Mexico, a giant victory for Wisconsin workers, farmers, and dairy producers, a tremendous victory. And we may get that all taken care of this week or next week. Just needs one more vote, and we'll get that out of the Republican Senate. The Republican Senate will be great. Tomorrow, we'll also be signing our Phase 1 trade deal with China, massively boosting exports of products made and produced right here in the great state of Wisconsin. So after years of devastating defense cuts, we have fully rebuilt the United States military to a point that it has never been before, and it's now more advanced, more lethal, and more powerful than ever. And last year, our great American warriors, because that's what they are, and they love it. I got to tell you, I know so. They love it, right? They love doing that. They wouldn't trade places with me under any circumstances. They wouldn't trade places with all of our great Wisconsin politicians. They want to be a military warrior. And we don't want them for that. We want them doing what they're doing. But our great warriors carried out a daring nighttime raid and terminated the founder and leader of ISIS. The animal known as al-Baghdadi is dead, and the wicked caliphate is 100% destroyed. And I will tell you, when we took over a little less than 3 years ago, ISIS was all over the place. Now the caliphate is 100% destroyed. Do you remember when I wanted to leave, when it was at 98%? I said, let some of the other countries finish it off. We're going home, right? They all said, oh, no, sir, please finish it off. So we finished it off. It's 100%. A few days ago, we took bold and decisive action to defend American lives and deliver American justice. At my direction, the United States military launched a flawless precision strike that killed the world's #1 terrorist. #1 terrorist. You know who that is? Qasem Soleimani, #1 terrorist in the world. Soleimani was responsible for murdering and wounding thousands of Americans and was actively planning new attacks, but we stopped them cold. And frankly, they already started the attack, as you saw in Baghdad, on our very large embassy in Baghdad. That was already started. And I said to our generals, get there now. We don't want to have another Benghazi on my watch, on any watch. They said, sir, we'll be there tomorrow. I said, nope, you got to be there right now. Get them over there now. Now. And they had thousands of soldiers. They were soldiers. You take a look at that crowd. That was not protesters. They were soldiers. And they were surrounding our embassy in Baghdad. And all of a sudden, they see these beautiful, very expensive, I will tell you, brand new Apache helicopters roaming over the top. And then they see our great military. You saw them in the plane, right? Some of them were getting out of their pajamas. I said, don't worry about it. I said, we won't put that on. But they were sitting there, and they were calling a roll call in the plane, right? And it was a beautiful sight. And these guys were better than Tom Cruise at his best. All right. So tomorrow with the fake news, here's your headline. Here's your headline. You know, we have thousands of people outside wanting to get in. They can't because you people got here first. But, so here's your headline. Tomorrow, protesters disturb the rally. One protester, a very weak voice. You know, if you people wouldn't go crazy every time you see something, you'd go right through it. Nobody would even know she was there. Now, she's going home to Mom, where she will be in big trouble. Because I guarantee you that Mom voted for Trump. And in 10 years from now, when I run yet again, she'll be voting for Trump too. I'm only kidding, I'm only kidding. We drive them crazy. We drive them crazy. They say, you know he's not leaving, don't you? He's never leaving. They say he's going to win, he's never going to leave. You know, these people, it's called Trump derangement syndrome. It really is. They are so cool. You know what they don't know is that if for any reason after 5 years we do leave, which we will because I believe in that stuff, right? But you know what's going to happen to their industry? They're all going to die and fold up. Going to be very boring out there, very boring. That's why I say at some point every single one of them will be endorsing Donald Trump. But crazy Bernie Sanders and the Washington Democrats, by the way, Bernie is surging. Bernie is surging. Bernie. But the Democrats are outraged that we killed this terrorist monster, even though this monster was behind hundreds and hundreds of deaths. That's two. Hey, speaking of protesters, have you seen what's happened in Iran? The protesters are on our side. First time ever. They're on our side. In fact, they put this big American flag on the street. And the Iranians, thousands and thousands of Iranians, were supposed to walk on it and trample it and step and beat the hell out of it. Every one of them went around that flag. They like Trump. They like you. I'm just your representative. But they like us. They like us. They haven't seen anything like that in a long time. They went around, did you see it? They went around the flag. They didn't want to touch it. They love America. They love our country. That's called progress. That's called progress. But the Democrats are doing everything possible to disparage what we did with the hit on this monster. You know, many of the young men and women you see walking around without arms and without legs and were done by Soleimani. That's what he loved. He loved the roadside bomb. That's what he loved. Thousands and thousands and thousands in Iraq, in Afghanistan, roadside bombs. He was the king of the roadside bombs. Great percentages of people don't have legs right now and arms because of this son of a bitch. Okay? And the Democrats should be outraged by Soleimani's evil crimes, not the decision to end his wretched life. They're saying, well, he was a general, he was this, he was that. You know what? Number one, he wasn't supposed to be there. He was a designated terrorist by President Obama, who didn't do anything about it, as usual. As usual. They don't do anything. They designate and they don't do anything about it. He should have been killed 20 years ago. Now, here's the story with the Democrats. If I didn't kill him, and let's say we lost 3, 4, 5 embassies or bases or thousands of people or hundreds of people or 2 people were killed, they would have said, Trump should have taken him out. Anything we do, they go the opposite. So we kill him, and that was precision. Some people thought it went much too fast. Went too fast. So we kill him and they say, what a horrible, if we didn't kill him, they'd say, what a horrible thing, right? You know, with the wall, we're building the wall. You know that, right? Oh, what's going on? And by the way, they think they caught me. They never catch us. Because, you know, Mexico's paying for the wall. You know that. You'll see that. It's all worked out. Mexico's paying. It's driving them crazy. Now they say, okay, he's building the wall. But Mexico didn't pay. Mexico will pay. And here's the thing. Here's the thing. You'll see that. It'll come out. We'll do it sometime during the debate or maybe before our debate, the real debate, that people are going to watch. That people are going to watch. Because nobody's watching. You know, no, they haven't been doing great on the debates, I have to tell you. But we are building this wall. We're over 100 miles right now. We're going to be expanding the length. You have a lot of natural, where you have 1,978 miles. You need 500 miles, but 700 would be good. 750 or so would be great. We're going to now get it up. We have all the financing. You think it's easy getting financing. When people I can get anything from them. I can get whatever I want in terms of money, except for a wall. And I made one big mistake. I should have said to them, we will not build the wall. We don't want the wall. They would have insisted that we build it. We would have had all the money we wanted. I made a mistake. I made a big mistake. Now we're building the wall. It's going up, and it's going up rapidly, and very soon we'll be building about a mile a day. And we should be up to over 400 miles by next year, the end of next year, and shortly thereafter it'll be finished. And it's already having a tremendous impact on people not being able to come into our country. Bernie and the radical left cannot protect your family, and they cannot protect our country, nor do they want to, I think. According to Elizabeth Pocahontas Warren, who has somewhat less Indian blood in her than I do, and I have none. Remember? Oh, we hit her hard. But I hit her too early. But now it doesn't matter. She's not going anywhere. But Bernie said, according to her, Bernie said, and I don't believe that he said this, because, I don't know him. I don't particularly like him. He's a nasty guy. But I don't believe he said it. It's not his deal. You have to know what people say. She said, right, that Bernie stated strongly that a woman can't win for president. A woman can win for president. Fortunately, that could happen. That could happen. Who knows? But she said that Bernie said a woman can't win. I don't believe that Bernie said that. I really don't. So, just know Bernie, it's not the kind of a thing he'd say. If you want to keep America safe, just vote Republican. We're doing so well. We're doing so well. Now this was, leave him alone. That's all right. Let security just take care of him. Okay? You all right? Get him out of here. Good. Good job, security. Good job. Good job. Do we love law enforcement? Do we love them? And is there ever a better place to be than a Trump rally on some night during some week? The truth is, we have a great time. But you know what? More importantly, we get things done. We're getting everything done. But even President Obama's own former national security advisor, a highly respected general named Jim Jones, praised our action to take out Soleimani and said it was absolutely correct and it was the absolute right thing to do. I'm sure they like him very much today. He sounds like our kind of a guy. So, Jim, if they're giving you a hard time, come on over to the Republican Party. No, he's a respected guy. He said we did the right thing. Everyone knows. They're saying, was the attack imminent? Was it imminent? Does the fact that he's killed hundreds of thousands of people and thousands of Americans and horribly killed and wounded thousands and thousands, that doesn't matter. Was the attack imminent? I think they're going to start a new investigation. Was the attack on this horror? And by the way, he was in a country he wasn't allowed to be in. We don't mention that because he was designated and he wasn't allowed to be there. And he was there with the head of Hezbollah. And they were talking about, like Hillary Clinton, they were talking about weddings and working out. Right? Soleimani and the head of Hezbollah, they were talking about weddings, working out, or Bill Clinton in the back of the airplane with the Attorney General, where they may have made her an offer that you're going to go to the Supreme Court, or they may have said you're going to stay Attorney General, but help. They may have said that. Do you think they would have said that? No, nothing like that. But remember, they talked about golf and grandchildren, right? 45 minutes. You know, I like golf, and I love my grandchildren. I don't think I can talk to somebody about them for 45 minutes that I don't even know. 45. I have a beautiful grandchild. He's really beautiful. He's so great. Okay, what else am I going to say, right? Then I talk golf. Let's talk one or two. How's Tiger doing? How's this one? How's that one? That's another 5 minutes, right? What am I going to do with the other 35 minutes? Maybe I'm going to talk about Supreme Court appointments, etc. Well, we're doing very well. But at this very moment, the good people of Iran are taking to the streets in numbers like nobody's seen before, and they're really protesting the repressive regime and demanding a better future. You know, they're great people. The great people of Iran, they're great people. They get it. And they're tired of watching their leaders plunder Iran to stoke violence and death and war. And you know, Iran's caused us problems for 40 years, just so you understand. Reagan had it, Iran-Contra. Carter had it, 52 hostages, how about that? Destroyed his presidency. He was pretty well destroyed before that, in all fairness. But it didn't help. Actually probably got Reagan elected, if you think about it, right? But no, Carter had it, 52 hostages. Reagan had Iran-Contra. Obama had just, you know, he was like begging them for everything. But Obama gave him $150 billion, $1.8 billion in cash free. Got zero. He got zero out of it. He got zero. Well, I'd love to have that money back. It's a lot of money. But I've warned the Ayatollah and the government of Iran that they must not harm, hurt, or kill any protesters. The whole world is watching. It's watching. They've killed thousands of protesters. We support the Iranian people and their courageous struggle for freedom. It's incredible what's going on over there. It really is. But we're watching, and we're watching very closely. And we were ready. You know, that night when the attack was made on us, remember this, they killed an American, they killed other people just before that. And so we did what we did, right? And they said, it's our turn now. I said, you better be careful when you say it's our turn, because we had designated targets that you wouldn't have, it would have taken them 30 years to rebuild if that was even possible. It's true. It's true. And we saw those missiles launched, and they were big and they were fast and they were accurate. 4 of them went bad. They fell way short. But 12 of them hit. And I said, man, they are quick. They knew immediately what they were. And they saw those missiles hit. I said, how bad is it? It hit a base. And an hour later or so, we get a call back. I said, how many killed? Nobody, sir. I said, how many hurt? They said, nobody, sir. And I said, they just saved themselves $1 trillion and a lot of lives. It's true. $1 trillion, not $1 billion, $1 trillion. So they did a very smart thing, and we're not looking for regime change. They've tried that with Libya. They go, Hillary Clinton, let's get rid of Libya. Let's get rid of Gaddafi. Let's get rid of Gaddafi. How's that working out, right? Let's get rid of Gaddafi. That was a Hillary deal. Then you had Benghazi. And see Benghazi, they didn't respond. They didn't respond. Should be. Should be. Should be. And then we had Iraq. They went into Iraq. The geniuses go into Iraq. Iraq didn't knock down the World Trade Center, just in case anybody had any question. And this guy did kill. He was not a sweetheart. He was a bad guy in every way. But he did kill terrorists, right? And it became Harvard University for terrorists, right? But they did go after him. But he didn't knock down the World Trade Center. So they got a lot of bad thinking. But we're doing a good job. We're getting the hell out. We're moving. You know, we did something in Syria. We were guarding their border. At one point, we had thousands of people. The Syrian border between Turkey and Syria. It's been there for 1,000 years. They've been fighting for many, many years under different names. I said, I'm getting our soldiers out of there. I did. I took them out. And you know what I did with the soldiers? No. They don't tell you the true story because they're a bunch of corrupt people back there. I told Turkey, you got to defend your own border. We're not going to defend your border. And we get along with Turkey. We get along. But they've been there for, and by the way, I call it a safe zone. That is the most dangerous safe zone in the world. Okay? I'm looking at the audience. There's about 3 of you that want to be in that zone, okay? And you're very tough people. But this is the most dangerous. I call it the safe zone. Someday it may be a safe zone. But I took our soldiers out because we had an army here and we had a vast number of people here. And they were going to fight. I said, if they're going to fight like they have been for hundreds and hundreds of years, for centuries, let them fight. But we're getting the hell out of there, okay? But the fake news doesn't tell you the right story. But the fake news doesn't tell you the right story. Because what I did is I took our soldiers, and you know what I did? I moved them to the oil area, and we now control the oil. So they said Trump stayed in Syria. Trump stayed. So people said to me, why are you staying in Syria? Because I kept the oil. Which, frankly, we should have done in Iraq, okay? A long time ago. You have no idea the things and the decisions I've seen. So they say Trump's in Syria. I didn't pull out. I did pull out. We have the oil really secure. We'll see what happens with it. But we can help our friends, the Kurds, because that's where they got their wealth. And then ultimately, it was with ISIS. But right now, it's with the United States military. And we also got rid of remnants of ISIS. While we're creating jobs and killing terrorists, Democrats in Congress are wasting America's time with demented hoaxes and crazy witch hunts that have been going on, by the way, from the day I came down the escalator with our future First Lady. Somebody said to me recently, President was a friend of mine. Used to always call me Donald. Hey, Donald, how you doing? Let's go have dinner. Okay, good. Now he calls me President. I told you this before. He calls me President. They always call me President. President, tell me, what's happening? What's going on? How's it all going? You're doing such a great job. I said, do me a favor, call me Donald. I can't. Now, when they say, you know what that means, right? That means respect for the office of President. And you know what? We're going to keep it that way. We're going to keep it that way. We're going to keep it that way. But that's why this November, we're going back and we're going to win the House. The Republicans are going to win the House. Because I don't know if you know it. The impeachment hoax, which is a total hoax. This is based, just think of this. This is based on a perfect phone call. Did anybody read the transcript? It's a perfect call. In fact, if you go back and look at Lyndon Johnson, all of them. Lyndon Johnson was sort of a tough guy. Can you imagine his phone calls? He's probably looking down or looking up, and he's probably saying, these people have gone crazy. That's the nicest call I've ever. In fact, somebody said, I never knew you could be so nice on a telephone call. But this is all based on a simple phone call that was totally appropriate, where the president of Ukraine said there was no pressure on us. Didn't even know what they were talking about. The foreign minister said they want to impeach the president of the United States over a perfect phone call. It's the greatest hoax ever perpetrated on our country. Ever. But we're going to go back, and because of it in Wisconsin, I don't know if you've seen, independent voters and voters, I think, of all of the voters, including Democrats moving over. We just got 195 to nothing, the Republicans in the House, which was a fix. We got 100. Nancy Pelosi says, it must be nonpartisan. It must. And she said, it has to be clear cut. Well, number one, never happened, no problem. Number two, look at the vote. 3 Democrats voted with us.